Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inshallah, in the last few days, after every Fajr Namaz, inshallah, Ayatul Kursi, number one. Number two, the last verse of Surah Bani Israel, which is ayat number 111. Number three, yesterday we did the dua of Sayyidina Muaz ibn Jabal, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Now, number four, inshallah, after Fajr Namaz and after Maghrib Namaz, if you can read the last three verses of Surah Al-Hashr, in the 28th para, ayat number 22, 23 and 24. Huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha illahu al-malikul quddus salamul mu'min. Inshallah, if you die during the day, inshallah, you are guaranteed entry into Jannah. As mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you read it after Fajr and you read it inshallah after Maghrib. Inshallah, one word of advice, inshallah, ulama have mentioned it so beautifully. This first ashara is known as the ashara of Rahmah. It's so amazing. Dunya mein khana tulta hai kilo par. You get masalan apples per kilo, $10 per kilo. I'm not too sure the prices, but we know, mashallah, inflation is very, very, very high. But let's say you have food per kilo. When you go to a goldsmith, you buy gold on grams, per gram, per tola. But when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, deeds are weighed on dharrat. And dharrat are particles of sand. वो जो चूटी जो अंडा देती है, you know, when an ant gives an egg, that is what is called a dharra. This is why Hazrat Maulana Maseehullah Jalalabadi rahimahullah used to say, किसी गुनाह को छोटा समझकर करो मत, किसी नेकी को छोटा समझकर छोड़ो मत. If you have a sin that is trivial and small, that doesn't mean you do it. If you have a deed which is very, very minute and small, it doesn't mean you leave it. Because you never know, the hadith mentioned by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, the rahmat of Allah is so great. A zaniya, a prostitute, is forgiven for giving water to a dog. So, you know, the smallest of things, inshallah, you do it. One word of advice, inshallah. अगर आपके पास कोई इंसान पैसा लेने के लिए आए तो अल्लाह ताला का शुक्रिया अदा करो कि ये भी तो हो सकता था कि अल्लाह ताला तुम्हें किसी और के पास भेज दे. You could have been on the other side of the table and you could have been begging. So just thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala कि अल्लाह ताला ने हमें देने वाला बनाया. al-yadul ulya khayrun min al-yadi sufla. And inshallah, just as we mentioned from yesterday, 5 things that will soften our hearts. We mentioned one thing yesterday was the tilawat of the Quran. And then we mentioned the story of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala. Number 2, the second thing that will soften our hearts is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The remembrance of Allah, mashallah, the way you do with you, majlis, mashallah, of dhikr, this will soften your hearts. Why? Because when you take the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, har cheez ki ek khususiyat hai. Zahar agar kisi ne kha liya, it can kill. The name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a khususiyat, it's got a speciality. You see why? When you take the name of Allah, the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come into you. And what is the quality of Allah? Rahmah. One of the qualities of Allah is Rahmah. Why is it Rasulullah was Rahmatul lil Alameen? Why? Because the hadith of Sayyida Aisha radiyallahu anha, Rasulullah used to do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most. तो जो जितना ज़्यादा ذکر करेगा उसका दिल इतना ही नर्म होगा. One person came to Hasan Bisri rahimahullah and said, Hazrat, मेरा दिल बड़ा सख्त है. तो what did he say? أدبه من الذكر. أدبه من الذكر. Teach your heart the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that will soften your heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all the tawfiq. Wa sallallahu ala khayri khalqihi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.